Bobby. So, hey everybody. We were supposed to have two guests on. One was a porn star, and one actually showed up. But when the porn star didn't show up, Frank said, "Fuck it, I have diabetes," and took the day off. Frank also told me when I texted this week's guests, I said we're gonna have Jessa Rain and Geno Bisconte, and Frank goes, "Yikes!" And I was like, "Yikes! What, Frank? I know you're old, but you can't talk to a porn star." He's like, "No, I mean motor mouth." And he meant Gino, but he said it'll still be fun. Bobby was there in the group message. It's a real thing. But anyway, Frank isn't here for real because he's not feeling good, so we let him have the day off. So, Bobby, be Frank.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Pat Oates Show with your lovely host, the wonderful Pat Oates.
And my lovely co-host, Bobby Tamburo, everybody. See, that's how they should do this. That's how this works.
That's good, yeah. And we are so blessed to have with us tonight one of the funniest comedians in New York City, Geno Bisconte.
One of? How dare you? We lie to them when they come on, Bobby. Come on. Today? He is the greatest. It's him, then Seinfeld, and then when Gallagher's there. That's what it is. That's the three.
I agree. I can't argue with that.
Thank God Bargatze moved to Nashville.
Yeah, thank God. I got to go see when he recorded at the Gramercy that hour he did there where the joke's all about Luis Gomez, like everything was about him or like being
laughed at by a clown, right?
Yeah, that was me and Marty Caproni we're up in the city and we got passes from people we knew, and that was the best. But the best was afterwards when we went to the after party thing, and I met Nate once. I knew some comics there, but I shouldn't have been there, and neither should have Marty. And Marty started trying to like hobnob everybody, and literally Jay walks in to go hug his good friend after his thing, and Marty cuts him off and corners him for like 30 minutes. So I took my phone out and I lit Marty. And Jay goes, "Did you just fucking light him? That's the greatest thing ever." But yeah, it's time for us to go. Let friends hang out. That's my Nate.
Marty was
the
piece
involved Nate. I think Nate went, "Ha, I think I know you from Facebook." And I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay." That was my Nate story. So, Geno, how are you, sir?
Guys, I'm fucked. As my old man used to say, if I was doing any better, I couldn't stand it. Life is good. We were talking earlier about the show we did this weekend, which was great.
You and those two hacks? That sounds like a good show.
Some guy named some Florentine and Jameson guy, but the thing I've said, and Bobby will agree with me on this, it's like the world's just a better place now because all the fucking twatsickles that used to fucking come out to the shows and be like, "Oh my God, I'm offended by that." They don't even leave the. They don't even, okay, I'm my undivided attention. They don't even leave the house now because they're busy being obedient fucking citizens and they're afraid to come out. And like, it's like Aaron Berg says, I'm a broken record. Look, the strong need the space. If you're afraid to go outside, stay the fuck inside.
But I'll still take the scared retard who goes to a comedy show once in a while than the person who's actually yelling about it on social media who's never gone to a comedy show. It's so funny because I've been performing throughout the whole thing. No one's told me not to say a word once. No one's come out and said, "Don't say this thing." Those people aren't out there. They don't exist. You know what I mean? It's like they're not really there. They're loud on the internet. They're scaring away the right people. I'm happy for them because they're making shit comics go, "I can't do my thing." No, you're a shit comic. I'm happy you're not doing your thing. Get out of my way.
Take it from a guy that has had people get angry at his set, that fucking leans into it when when people are bitching about.
I don't know if having a Hitler Youth rally is called a set, but it's still, you call it what you want.
Yeah, but take it from a guy who everyone, if you ask 90% of these young faggoty comics in the city, they think I say the N-word on stage, and this nigger doesn't say it on stage.
No, only on our show, which I'm proud of.
That's how I roll. But that's so I'm enjoying these shows more than ever because it's like I say. It's like people learned a lot from this pandemic, and it's like the comics that never broke stride, we drove right past them. They're sitting there idling on the fucking comedy highway, waiting for the light to go turn green, waiting for everyone to give them permission to go outside and get their back. Go suck a dick. We've been fucking finding ways to make people laugh, and we fucking are way ahead of the curve now.
I know someone that saw you recently said to me they saw you years ago when you did a Johnny Benson show, and they're like, Geno used to just yell the N-word and say things about gay people, but now he also has a message. That's what they said.
Yeah, and I would never argue with these.
He's still doing that, but now he has a message.
But the people that say that, I just go, yeah. But
that person was me.
I'll be like, you don't fucking know me. You don't know me. and I just wander away. But the people that know me, the fans, they get it. These guys get it, you know, and it's beautiful to just live the way I do and be the arrogant asshole that I am and just, you know, be able to say shit and be like, what? Well, you know, you're easy. It's what, stop it. Stop it with the Black Lives Matter. Stop it with Hitler was terrible. The Jews are doing great, okay? Anytime a Jew wants to bitch about my set, they have to show up with a dodo bird because they are extinct. The Jews are fucking everywhere. And every time a black person wants to sit there with oppression, they have to wear one of those Black Lives Matter fucking NBA jerseys that they got to wear when they were flown to fucking Disney World to play fucking for free and to play for billions combined dollars and not have to pay a penny while people couldn't feed their family because of the pandemic. So get proud, like, and they don't, the Jews don't, and very few blacks that come to comedy clubs do, but that's what you have to do. I need a Jew with a Chinese or a black guy to wear one of those fucking NBA jerseys. I can't breathe when they're saying it, so I can laugh at their hypocrisy.
What was that, Bobby? You tried to say something on our show. What was that?
Yeah, I just said now do the Chinese. What would you do if a Chinese guy?
Before he does the Chinese, Geno, I have a proposition for you. You just inspired something. We write a movie where like those movies where the body switch happens, like they used to do with Jamie Lee Curtis and shit. We do it with George Floyd and Hitler. They switch, and then George Floyd is now in charge of the Nazis. And I bet you the same result would happen. He would still kill all the Jews, without a doubt. He'd probably kill so many more Jews. It'd be great. And then Hitler would not get killed because even though he has that mustache, he's white. That's what would happen. And I think it's a fun movie. We could probably get like Jack Black to play Hitler. It'd be a fun tale.
I believe the word you're looking for, Pat, is a feel-gooder. I believe that's the word you're looking for there.
Something with the ER at the end, but you say that, not me. And by the way, in your non-arrogance, I tried to set up a joke. You steamrolled right over it. I said that person who said that was me. And I made a joke, and you went, if that person doesn't fucking know who I am, like it was me. It was a joke. That no one said that. People think you're great. You're like, I had a dream that one day black people didn't exist. I'm like, okay, that's a different dream. Except for Larry Baya, because where did I get my coat? Like, that's the people you need. In silence. Fun. All right. Geno's never been silent. So either Geno is getting a cigar ready or he's probing his cat. In either way.
I don't know where the cat is. I think she's in her box.
Yes, she is. Anyway, that's the child I am today. I've been doing that. I've been working overnights last 4 nights, and every time anyone says anything that could sound somewhat like a penis, I've said, yeah, you do, and then chuckled, and then no one's gotten it, and I've had to repeat it to them and then tell them at 3 a.m. what it means. Like electrician was putting in a giant pole, and he goes, it's a thick pole. I'm like, yeah, it is. And he goes, yeah, it is. And I go, no, yeah, it is. It's a thick pole. He goes, yeah, it's a pretty thick pole. I'm like, it's a dick joke, you fucking shit electrician. I fucking hate you, you white trash racist fuck. All right. He had a cool mustache though. Bobby, how are you?
Living the dream.
What's the dream?
Oh, get to work doing comedy during the day, get to do this kind of fun stuff at night, just having fun.
Doing comedy during the day? Like a stripper?
Like producing.
Oh, I thought you meant like Tuesday afternoon, like showing tits and having hot dogs sold.
He's doing Jewish comedy clubs like Lenny Marcus was doing that led to me riffed with fucking that. I watched that fucking documentary on Kevin Brennan. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I did not watch. I've never heard of the guy.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff, buddy.
I've heard of Kevin Brennan. These jokes are killing today. And look, you can make fun of Hitler and George Floyd, but I've made jokes about Larry Baya and Kevin Brennan, and Geno has stonewalled me twice. It's like, which basically, if I needed 2 people to play George Floyd and Hitler, it would be Kevin Brennan and Larry Baya. So I don't know why. There we go. Now that we got 2 comics who don't get work, now you're happy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
very happy.
I'm kidding. I don't know Kevin, and Larry, he's very loud. And white men old white men love him.
I love it.
He does. Old white men love him so much.
Old white men love him, but not as much as they love Silk City Hot.
Too early. We're not. Why are we doing it so early?
Yeah. Do you have a Silk City code too?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get to that later, though. I don't want to spoil anything.
Understood.
And just so you know, Geno, all I do is probably the most offensive things during every ad humanly possible. I think it stopped pedophilia. It stopped the Amistad. Hitler used it. We've done everything, and they love it. They're like Larry Maya. They love it. They love it.
They love it.
They love
it. They loop it.
They loop. I didn't see that. What did there was something I wanted to talk to you about, and I forget. What was it? I don't know. It was something stupid, but I thought of you. Not because you're stupid, because it was something that you would have got mad. Oh, that's what it was. I was at work, and I heard a conversation, and two older people were talking, and an older lady said, pretty soon we won't need masks anymore as long as we get the vaccine. And then I just said, I should have said it at work, and I just said, also, if you're not sick. She goes, what? I go, well, if you're not sick, you don't need masks or medicine. And she goes, we all need it. I go, then why don't you go buy some cough syrup? And she goes, well, I don't have a cold. I go, and then she just looked at me, and the husband goes, don't try. I've been trying it for weeks. I was like, all right. Because what's scaring me, Geno, is that the word mask is being replaced with the word vaccine for everything. You couldn't go in a car. You couldn't go to Uber without a mask. You couldn't go to a restaurant without a mask. You couldn't travel without a mask. Now they're like, oh, no mask. Now you can't go in a car without a fucking vaccine. You can't travel without a vaccine. They're just changing new words. It's going to be something else next. You can't go next without a fucking third leg. They're just going to keep saying shit so they can keep.
Bobby, tell him who was right about everything, Bobby. Tell him.
You are, Geno.
Tell him who said over this past summer, after I nailed the American Idol corollary, which meant they killed all the old people in the nursing home to jack up the numbers, and they wouldn't be able to do that anymore. They had to convince everyone to be scared of the infection rather than death. So they would use words like skyrocket and what was the other? And spike and surge. And now I'm handing it over to you because you're exactly right, Pat. Now it's like they're replacing mask with vaccine. You're fucking right. I didn't even notice that.
The word's just been changed because once you and I've talked about this, but once you give up power, no one ever hands you power back. You know what I mean? Here you go. Here's your power back. So how do we keep these people what they're doing? How do we do this so we can keep feeding them little bits of stimulus money every once in a while? By the way, guess who doesn't get stimulus money? People who couldn't afford to pay their taxes. A year ago, I was just a comic who had to pay taxes. And when I was about to, with the money I was making, they stopped let me have gigs. So I couldn't pay my taxes. So therefore, I let it go. So this year, when I need the money more than anybody, I don't get a stimulus check because I didn't bow down. If you gave me the stimulus check, I could turn around and hand it back to you, stupid fucks, because I'd have to pay my taxes. But you don't pay me. You pay some other asshole who's just going to buy your masks and go for your vaccines and sign up for all your dumb shit and do whatever the fuck you say. It's ridiculous. And yeah, there are people who are sick, but they're sick from just being sick.
Yeah.
They would have died this year. They would have died. If this was real, Betty White would be dead. I've been saying this on stage forever. If it was real, it would have killed that fucking old piece of shit, unfunny fourth hack one from the Golden Girls. She's no good. She's garbage. She's not older than dirt, but she's older than the sale of dirt. That's real. When she was 5, people started selling dirt in bags. They didn't do that when she was 4. She's older than putting food in a freezer. Before, when she was 2, they started doing that. When she was 1, you put a meat in a cooler and you put ice in it. That's how fucking.
And salt. You had to salt it.
Yeah, she's older than salt, Geno. They didn't have oceans, and then all of a sudden she was 4. Then she got wet once because her uncle fingered her. That's what you did back then when you were good. And salt came out. Salt, kosher salt, because it was a Jewish finger.
Well, I'll tell you, the beauty of it is that like the people that just don't care, which is obvious. But it's the arrogance of the people when they tell you, like, oh, I hope you don't get the vaccine. I'm not getting the vaccine. Like, I'm looking at it. The reason I loved the NFL this year was they didn't give a fuck about COVID or BLM. Everyone got mad at them when they're like, all right, well, opening week, we're going to do Lift Every Voice. And then people are like, well, that's 2 different anthems. And by week 2, after they fucking placated every yappy fuck, you didn't see the anthem once, either one of them, because they didn't show the anthem in the stadiums and they didn't have to. No one was in them. So they didn't fucking show it. And then regardless if the players stayed in the locker room or whatever, they showed some stupid like interstitial or whatever and would go right to the fucking game. And when people are like, oh, 2 players have COVID, well, we'll just move the game on Sunday that, we'll move one of the fucking 15 games we're going to show on Sunday to Tuesday afternoon or Monday early or even Wednesday. And you know what? We'll watch it and we'll make more fucking money. But that's the arrogance that goes on now. with these real like, yeah, but I don't want to watch. It's just stupidity. And now baseball, I lost my shit because this week baseball's like, well, if you get, they're trying to get people to get the vaccine, and if 85% of your team is vaccinated, then, well, you've got the golden pass and you can live like a normal person. But if less than 80%, you can't, you have to wear masks on flights and you can't use the training room and all this shit to fucking baseball. Baseball is a summer sport and they're not even opening with full fucking stadiums. It's fucking horse shit.
But when Magic Johnson had AIDS, they let him play.
Yep. Remember that?
He
Yeah.
he was smooching
to be
Isaiah
fair.
Thomas on the cheek, and no one gave a fuck. And the two of them and Mark Aguilar would sit there and fucking hug and kiss because they were three best buddies. And it was like, you have AIDS, bro. Get out of it. In the NFL, they let the Baltimore Ravens play for 2 years with 6 murderers. Like, they didn't care. It was fucking the longest yard, too. We don't care. They're fucking murdered. Ben Roethlisberger won the Super Bowl with the blood of a woman's rape on him. Nobody cared. But if 3 people get the cold, we got to play Tuesday. Yeah, they got the cold. There's a bunch of men sweating together and running around in weird conditions. They get sick.
Yeah, I like to say the flu is just COVID with a worse publicist.
I've seen
Keep
that.
it up, dude. Keep it
I've
up,
seen that.
motherfucker. Keep it up.
I heard some guy stole it and made a bumper sticker out of it with some gay sheep on it. It looks like John McEnroe.
Well, Pat, I don't know if he told you I'm a fucking grifter, despite the fact that I've sent out countless free fucking, stickers, handwritten thank you notes on them. Fucking Geno Bisconte, who never fucking knew fucking our boy.
Obadiah.
Yeah, Geno Bisconte, thank you. Who never even fucking knew Kenny Ortega, who died. Fucking didn't go to his funeral. He's like, well, tell that to Kenny Ortega's family. Shut up. Shut up, you fucking faggot. Shut up.
I knew Kenny. I'm not saying we were close friends. We performed a lot together.
Yeah, you
Kenny would be the first one to tell you that he was a fat, unhealthy fuck.
Yep. The last time I hung out with him was
his best joke was about how he got in a fight with somebody one time, and then they got mad at him because he goes, "What's wrong?" They stopped, and he goes, "I'm mad because I want to choke you and I can't find your neck." Okay, that was so fucking one of my favorite fucking jokes ever. Where he turned and he goes, "It's my defense, yo. I got no neck, so I can't get choked." That guy would make fun of all that shit. He's one of the guys right now who's probably in heaven or wherever he is, staring down, laughing at people saying it was COVID. He doesn't want that on his thing. He died. He's a guy that was hilarious, that touched a lot of people's hearts, who died. Why are we giving credit to some dumb thing? Let's talk about the life of Kenny Ortega. Some moron Padilla. Yeah, fuck him. He's going to sit there and say out loud that, well, I'm doing that for him. Why are you kissing that guy's ass? He can't get you booked anymore at fucking LOL or the name of the fucking place was. He's dead. And then silence. What is happening? What name did I say now? Whose name did I say now? Did I say Bill Schultz? What the fuck happened?
No, you're doing great, buddy. I thought Bobby was going to jump in.
No, I say one. Whenever I say certain names, you guys get quiet, and I'm like, all right. And it's always someone no one gives a fuck about, like Kevin Brennan, Larry Bayard, or Bill Schultz. I don't know why I'm throwing Bill Schultz in. I think I said his name once, and Bobby was like, shh. The media. I don't know. No, I don't think the whole time Bobby tells me to be quiet is when I keep saying I'm not on compound because I'm not saying the N-word. So
got to really lean into it, buddy. You got to be like President Biden and run right through it. We still laugh about that. I believe it was Crowder that showed it when he fucking said nigger. People were like, did he really say it? Crowder showed the closed captioning, and it didn't just say nigger; it said niggered, ed. And I compared it to remember when you were a kid playing baseball, and they're like, all right, don't slide into first base. Run through it. He ran through the hard R in nigger. He ran through it into an ED.
If someone isn't marketing this, here's your big money maker. Erectile dysfunction pills for black people. The word he just said. N-word ED. N-word ED would be the greatest pill for black guys with fucking limp dicks. You could sell that all day. Even the president thinks so. And then he just says the word, and you're like, boom. Like,
then you can be N-word ED. Then you can be niggered rich. It'd be great, dude. It'd be great.
And hi, I'm Rich for, and it's just a guy named Rich who says it. It's perfect. We have it here.
The commercials would be my favorite part. They'd be the exact opposite of the normal ED commercials. It'd be some chick just yelling at her man, like, and damn, you can't even get it up no more. And throwing her shoes at him and some shit.
Yeah, I can't get up with you, but I can get up with my side piece. It's like, then he just runs out. And he's got a side piece of chicken and a woman, because that's his 2 favorite side pieces.
This triple suicide could have been prevented by, Geno, say it for me.
Niggered rich.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rich.
Right?
Hello there.
It's such a fun word. It's a shame people think every time you say it, like, again, well, I was just saying it because I thought we'd get slavery back. You're stupid. Shut up. It just drives me insane how
Who was
we live
trying
in
to
the
get
greatest.
slavery back? It never left.
Yeah,
Slavery's
well,
better than ever. Are you
we
kidding?
live-
Read the news. Slavery is better than ever.
What have
Slavery
you
is killing
read?
it. Maybe
What am
not
I
right
missing?
here, but all other countries, slavery is at an all-time high. It's great.
Well,
You could buy anyone you want.
not here. You're saying other places.
You can buy them online like you can gamble online anywhere you want. You know, it's like international waters, baby. You just fucking buy there. All you need is like a fucking bank account somewhere else, some dumb island, and you can buy all the white ladies you want.
I believe this. I believe.
You don't have to go to Yale and steal them anymore. You could just order them like a pizza. It's fun. Right now, the 5 people that watch this are like, why aren't they doing a POS story? Well, because Frank's not here and we're doing this. Right? That's why we didn't do that. But yeah, we were supposed to have a porn star and Geno on, but we didn't need it.
Who was the porn star again?
Jessa Rain.
Jake Flores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Jessa when I did Wet Spot one time.
Okay, yeah.
So she followed me on Facebook. She wanted to talk about something, and then I was going to bring that up for her. But and then she goes, it's funny. I asked 2 people this week, someone else to fill in for her afterwards, and they both go, yeah, just put me on next week. I'm like, don't tell me what to do. Like, you know what I mean? First of all, no, I won't do that because I just have principles. And second of all,
why would they tell you that?
People always do that. Like Mike Figs did that for 5 fucking weeks. And I was like,
Bobby.
I didn't even ask you the last 4.
Bobby, did he hold on? Excuse me 1 minute, Pat. Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
And then we finally had him on like 10 weeks later. And by the way,
I don't know how that kid.
He was great. So I'll give him that. He was fantastic when he was on.
I don't know how that kid lost his way, but he needs to fucking, Bobby will tell you we had a big, to do. I'm like, don't put him on this show. Berg's like, we have too many people on the show. I'm like, well, take Figs off because he bit the hand that fed him here. And he's just, it'll help him learn a lesson. And he's like, nah, I'm going to put him on. And what did he do the day of, Bobby?
He had to work. So he
canceled because he had to work. And when did
he was responsible to pay his bills. What a piece of shit.
Well, there you go. I mean, if you look at it like that,
Pat,
I have to look at things like that, Geno.
Hang on.
We all didn't get compound jobs. Some of us made a great show. Some of us had structure, and then some of us got bumped because we don't got tits. Anyway.
Pat,
some of us I woke up one day and I just had a compound show. I didn't put any work in for it. I just woke up. You might as well be married to Aaron Berg. That's what Berg's wife says at the time, but we don't.
All I was told was when I put the pilot on, wow, that's the best structured show we've ever seen from the beginning. That's all I saw.
And when you put your faith in Keith the cop, I mean, that's all you need to know.
My faith wasn't in Keith. I didn't even realize was championing me. E-Rock was the only one I was talking to. I met.
Oh, E-Rock?
Yes.
He still works there, so I'll say that's a great thing. E-Rock, that's a good call.
Okay, right. Here's our first piece of shit story, and Bobby won't be able to comment. Here's our first piece of shit story. Okay, so someone we just mentioned, E-Rock, put a post up last week when it was very hot out on Instagram. And the post said something to the effect of, seriously, warm weather? I'm not ready for this shit yet. So I commented underneath, and I said, hey, embrace it, buddy. It's great. Sometimes you got to embrace change. And he goes, I'm not fucking ready for you. I'm like, change is great. New things are wonderful. Like, you try things like warm weather. And maybe my show on fucking Compound Media. And then he didn't respond again. He didn't respond again at all.
Yeah.
Who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it me for just making a joke? And him and I have joked about that. I've still never been told no about the show. It's been going on for a year. I've just been told that COVID, which according to half the people on the show on Compound, they say it doesn't exist. So if it doesn't exist, why don't I have a fucking show? Or is it E-Rock for not responding back? He could have said ha or something. He responds every time I talk about a TV show or a comic book or fucking cookies. Why couldn't he respond about that? Or is it Bobby? Because since Bobby's been on this show and he works there, they've now ignored me and Bobby's had a show. So who's the piece of shit? I'm kidding. It's not that.
Well, we're going to blame you. I'm kidding.
Go ahead. Who's the piece of shit? Geno, go first.
Well, obviously, anyone that doesn't put you on the air is a piece of shit, Pat. I'm a big fan. We go way back. But
and the fourth piece of shit is Crowder, because why would you steal Landau and then get your show canceled? Because you say
so
you're
funny.
more racist than the show he was.
I mean,
by the way, I'm not trying to be a dick. I watched that show for the first time. Unwatchable. I don't know
dude,
how I was watching it.
by the way, you want to know who's a big shit? Keith the Cop is because he had such a bad business model for hiring people. He dug a giant hole that makes it hard to add new shows.
Yes. It's weird. Like, you almost hired a guy who didn't know what he was doing because he was friends with someone to fucking run.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. At least he knew to walk away from it. You know, he's like, it's like, I love this job. I'll just be Anthony's sidekick and make a shit ton of money. Well, you got to do the job. It doesn't run itself, you know?
The piece of shit is me. I'm going to answer right there. I shouldn't have made the joke. That was definitely something I should have DM'd the guy or texted him. I text all the time. I could have been like, haha, maybe you can embrace this. But no, I put it on Instagram. How's he going to respond to that? Because there's 8,500 people. Creepy Corners, Dave Temple, you name it, that also want shows, and they didn't get one. So he's like, if I open that fucking Pandora's box, he's going to get fucking beat down all day. It's always me. I'm the piece of shit.
I disagree. I don't think you're a piece of shit because I love doing shit like that. I'm like, I live my life like that. I'm like, let's just do this and see what happens. That's kind of but I always say it's easier for me to live like that because I don't have a lot of responsibilities, you know?
Right. But I do that with most people. With that one instance where a guy's been nothing but kind in the beginning of COVID, took like 2 weeks to message me and go, hey, keep working on your show. I'll give you a bunch of tips. Send me clips of your shows and I will help you. The guy's been nothing but supportive. And I'm like, fuck you, embrace heat and embrace my show, bitch.
And you took a dump on him. I think that's fucking wonderful, buddy.
That's what I did. Bobby, can you answer it all?
Yeah. I don't think anybody's the piece of shit in this story. You're a
I'm
comedian.
never
You
gonna
make
fire
great-
you. I'm never gonna fire you. I want Bobby to know this. I'm never gonna fire you. You're allowed to say anything you want, always and forever, and you know that. My friend.
No,
You can call me the
absolutely.
piece of shit.
But like, you did what you're supposed to do. You made a joke. You made light of the situation. You're pushing it in your comedic way. Eric, like you said, can't respond. You know what I mean? Like, he let it go. It could have thrown you a like, I guess, but I don't think anybody's at fault here. Actually, you know what? Let me rephrase. Sue Costello is the piece of shit.
That's true. That I'm going to tend to agree with.
Her show never had a chance, right?
No, never.
It was
Not once.
the antithesis of everything we believe, pretty much. There was a woke whistle where if you said something not politically correct, she blew it. If a man tried to mansplain, there was a buzzer that went off. Like, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What's worse, those opinions or having props?
Oh my God, that's insane. I didn't even, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch.
No,
the
I
show.
never watched. I watch almost
didn't
every show on
realize.
that network. I've never seen that fucking show.
I love that guy.
I've even watched all the pilots. Like, listen, I'm a fan of the guys on Creepy Corner. I get why if it couldn't get picked up, I understand that. Not every show can, but I like their work. I like what they do. They take chances and shit. I enjoy it. And I love Dave Temple. I think he's brilliant. I was hoping he got something. I mean, if it was one of us, well, I hope it was me. Fine. But yeah, Sue Costello, fuck that.
Yeah, that's. I don't even know how she got whatever. She said, look, isn't the secret to podcasting have good content and be easy to listen to? It was 0 for 2 with that. Her voice is insane.
And you're gonna have a shit voice,
right?
like Fran Drescher. If you're gonna have a shit voice, look good.
Yeah.
She doesn't even look good.
Yeah, it was a little.
I'm a hotter woman than Sue Costello. If I got hired by Compound Media, I'd be the 4th hottest woman on that compound.
Maybe you should have pitched her show with your looks. It would have been good.
By the way, Bobby's doing the lady math right now. I can see his eyes. He's like, "Is Pat the 4th?" And he's like,
Yeah,
okay.
I guess so.
And that's only because I can only think of 3 women on Compound Media.
Flutzy. If Flutzy sees this, you're in deep shit.
Who said I
Stand
wasn't
by
counting
Pat's
Flutzy?
statement.
Oh, wait, did you count Flutzy?
Who do you think I wasn't counting? What's this
you're
game,
right.
Gino?
It's
Who does
Chrissy,
Gino think I'm
Joanne.
hotter than?
I don't know. That's
By the
true.
way, I wasn't
Oh,
counting.
Luby, but she doesn't really have a show. You're right. I'm sorry. Okay.
By the way,
my
neither does Flutzy.
That's true. That's true.
I wasn't counting one of the 87 sidekicks on Eastside Dave with Roy Harder and Bobby Tamburo. That's what it should be called. I was not counting any of the sidekick women.
That's a good point,
I guess
Pat.
that's why I screwed it up.
You should watch the Eastside Dave show every Tuesday at 7:30 with Roy Harder on Compound Media.
Gino, my brother is a huge fan of Compound Media, watches our show as well. He loves Eastside Dave, all that stuff, and he's been giving us notes, and I had to hand them to Bobby, and he's like, Bobby, if you're gonna fucking say the name of the show you're on, say the full name. Say Roy Harder. How dare you not say his name?
Is that
Bobby's
true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Roy's the kind of guy I don't think would even give a fuck whether you said his name or not.
My brother said if you don't do that, then Big A will come after Bobby. So he's watching the show too hard. That's the problem.
It's not like he can't outrun Big A, okay?
And once again, I know I said this on the other show, but I'm saying it again here. Big A is a wonderful fucking human being.
Without a doubt.
You need photos. You need someone to fucking take care of you. Any kind of awesome pictures, anything you need, headshots, whatever. Hit the motherfucker up. He's great at what he does, and he's just a sweetheart of a guy that can use the work. So fucking support the good guys.
Yeah.
I think
He's
I was told
good.
to say that by somebody. I forget who. It was like a text. They're like, don't share it. Just make it natural. So that's what I just did. I just made it natural.
It was genuine. I liked it.
All right. Did you hear about the first story? Did you hear about Little Nas X's sneakers?
No, like what happened with the Little Nas? I heard there was like he ended up removing the tweet. Am I right? Like a lot of people gave him shit for something.
Well, he removed the tweet, but he didn't remove the sneaker or the awesome video that he made or anything else.
But here's the thing: I'm like, I couldn't find the tweet, so I don't even know what was going on with it.
All you got to Google is Satan shoes, or be here on this show, and I'll tell you right now, Little Nas X, and a group called Mischief, and they don't use any vowels. That's their thing. They're like those artsy fucking we're sending messages type bullshit groups that do these crazy out of control things. Have come up with sneakers before in the past. They take a Nike, I think it's a Nike
Air
7,
Force or Air Max.
Air Force 7. Yeah. And they take that sneaker. They did one that was like a Jesus one and did all this stuff. They made a Satan shoe. And that shoe is they've made 666 of them. The price is $1,018 because 1018 is some saying in the Bible about fucking Satan or whatever. But the big thing is, to get it all out there, they used real blood, a droplet of blood in the sole of the shoe that they got donated from other people and are selling these things. Now, a lot of people got upset at Nike when this story came out because they're like, how dare you? Nike first came out and said, we have nothing to do with it. We didn't endorse the shoe. We made the shoe. They bought the shoe and then made a version of their own off it. But we're not endorsing it. We don't work with Nas X. We don't work with fucking Mischief. But then later on, now Nike, because all the pressure they're getting, because everyone's like, seriously, Satan, and you make Korean kids make shoes? And they're like, fuck, why do they keep bringing this shit back up? It was good labor. Those kids have small hands. You got to write that swoosh somehow. You can't do it with fat American hands. We're doing our job. So now Nike's trying to sue those guys, even though they don't really want to sue them. They just have to do it to fucking, they say, hey, don't use our sneaker. Nas X did come out, Little Nas X, who was known to be a gay cowboy in the worst song ever, and now is known as a Satan worshiper. It's a weird flip. It's kind of like when Katy Perry made out with girls and then all of a sudden became like an empowered woman. It was a weird fucking move.
But I didn't think it was like bad to be a Satan worshiper anymore.
Have you been to the middle of this country?
Well, I guess so. And again, Republicans buy sneakers too, Michael Jordan. But I honestly didn't think that was a big deal. But I mean, I know
it's
that,
not the Satan part that people are bothered with. It's the real blood in the fucking shoes.
Yeah, who cares if it's
once again
donated blood? That's I mean, we all agree. Like, who cares if it's donated blood? It's not like the blood from the Korean kid that died making the sneaker. Hey, just take one of the dead kids and let's use their blood.
If they die, it's donated. Anyways, it's like, that's what it is. But, think about what we're saying. It's not you and I. It's this country who's afraid of every fucking disease, things in the air. Now they're afraid of blood. Now it's out of my foot, even though they don't realize it's not like fresh, wet blood. It's just in there like ink. There's a lot of weird shit. Geno just died.
I dropped you on your face. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did.
You okay?
Yeah,
I watched it fall. I'm like, oh, this is cute. Like, oh, and by the way, it's on because my laptop crashed last week. So I've been using my phone, which probably has a better camera than my fucking 2-year-old laptop. So I'm like, this is probably better. But it's on a little fucking perch that just fell forward. And I watched you guys come at me. I'm like, oh, I'll give him a sec.
And almost as long as that explanation that Geno did was the video that Little Nas X made.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how I don't have a job. Little Nas X made an apology video. The apology video started with him saying, oh, I'm sorry. And then it cut off and it became him and Satan dancing around. He ripped Satan's head off and then did a song dance video. So he didn't apologize at fucking all. And that helped sell them more.
That's fucking great.
Story. is the piece of shit in this story, Lil Nas X and Mischief the group, for coming up with this idea in a time when, hey, no one has money, but they did it at the same time as stimulus checks came out for the $1,000 fucking shoe, understanding how stupid this country is. And they do a shoe with Satan stuff. Yeah, it's funny, okay? I'll guarantee you they're not Satan worshipers. It's funny, but it's dark. It's only for certain people. That's why they made 666 of them. Is it Nike for not right away making a stance or taking no stance? Kind of going, we don't endorse or whatever. If I make something and then someone else takes it and just does a bootleg version of it, like, okay, like in Hot Water, how many fucking people now put on a show that's just like in Hot Water? They try to get fucking two people to say crazy things. They put gay porn in the back. They have a retarded guy dance around. I mean, a wonderful man dance around and say things. They do all the kind of shit they can do. They have someone doing an Indian voice. They watch your show and they copy it, like Saturday Night Live and other shit shows. That's what happened.
So bad. So bad.
Is it Nike for not making that stance right away, or fucking just saying, don't use our fucking sneaker? That's our fucking sneaker. We made that. You can wear it, but you can't fucking go make your own and sell it again. That's not how this shit works. Is it Satan? Because why would Satan wear a fucking basketball sneaker? I'm pretty sure Satan hates black people. Have you seen what he does to them? So why would he wear a basketball shoe? It would be a nice sandal. Or is it someone else? Bobby, you go first.
I think the piece of shit in this story are the people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, who claim to be these alt-right free speech guys. And
hanging up right now.
And then the minute things get a little out of hand against their side, they go, oh, no, you can't do that. That's ridiculous. It's like, are you either the free speech people or not? Like, you kind of have to take it all. Personally, I don't think you should mess with the dark arts. That tends to be how a lot of horror movies start. I try to steer clear of those things, but if people are going to enjoy it, you got to let them do it. This is America. We have freedom of speech. That's symbolic speech. Piece of shit is anybody who's mad about it.
Geno?
Pieces of shit are Nike. Like, you're not allowed to have an opinion when you have too much dirty fucking laundry and too many skeletons in your closet. When you fucking know these sneakers are being made with the blood, sweat, and tears, I'm sure someone has said that, of fucking Korean children in sweatshops, of Chinese kids under a fucking communist regime, and you're going to be like, don't use our sneakers, you are opening yourself up to the backlash they're getting and deserve and will keep fucking going. You have no right. You have no fucking right to suddenly be like, you can't pick your spots where to fucking virtue signal. And if you ask me, that's what they're doing. And you can't.
And I think they're pissed that they didn't think of this first. You know, there's some Nike CEO going, damn.
Where does this go when I bring you with me on shows? When I take you with me on road gigs, where's this funny, Bobby? Where is this clever timing? I don't. Anyway, go on, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's because I let him say the joke and I don't just eat it.
Oh, here we What's the Stewie line? Now we get to the center of the corn maze. I'm sorry, go.
Somebody believes in Bobby.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Bobby.
Oh, really?
Bobby, unlike fucking Mike
take him on your show
for a penny. He never fucking. He's all gratitude all the time. Like I believe I am and always was. That's what you get for in this fucking biz. You're like, all right, I'll take it. Thank you. Fucking Fig's like, I can't do it. Who the fuck? Fig's went. I'm not doing this. Back to you, Bobby.
Well, I can also say this. I never even tried to choose Figs first.
Good move.
I met Bobby.
Aggravation.
I met Bobby and I thought he was funny. And when I first messaged him to be on the show, because he was a guest once or twice, I know he was thinking, oh, Pat's trying to get in the compound or Pat wants an editor. So the first thing I said was, I'm not going to let you edit any of this. You're my co-host and you're funny because I believe in you. And now we're doing everything together. He's the co-host of this show and still he doesn't edit. Look, he doesn't even try with the video in the background. He's giving people strokes with that shit in the back.
I'm still trying to figure that out, but who am I to say? You know, I'm sitting there on a fucking cell phone plugged into a wall smoking a stick.
You know why he's doing that? Because he told E-Rock and E-Rock goes, annoy people, do that. That's what he said. The guy goes, even me.
The reason why I've got this exact background is your brother. He was like, get a less distracting background.
He doesn't think this is less distracting, just so you know.
It's what
mission
people would be
accomplished.
watching instead of this, just TV snow.
And by the way, 2 people who told me to book you next week. You know what? I'm going to book my brother next week because he's going to be better than you anyway. That's
Do
the
it.
show.
Book your brother. That'd be fucking awesome.
I almost put him on here with you, and he would have told you a couple things. It's
Oh, I would have loved it.
He loves you guys. I mean, he's a huge fan of all. He's been signed up for Cumia since day one. He's been listening to Opie and Anthony since he went to school in Boston when they were there. So it's like he's loved that. He's been to Virus tours. He's a big fan of everything. But he even saw Bob Saget live, which nobody should do. Anyway.
Well, I will say this: like I was the boss, and I say this, and it's like I don't. Do you even have TV anymore, Pat? Like I have TV, and I just watch the same stupid. Like I don't need it between the Netflix, the fucking all the podcasts I listen to now, including yours. On it, it's like I don't need. I don't know why I still have it. Like, and I sit there and I tell people, like, look, from 2 to fucking 6, from fucking 2 when we start to 6 when the boss is over, that's 4 fucking hours of fucking fun, give or take the 15-minute switch in between.
There's plenty of time if you want to read the news on the internet or read a paper when morning is on, when no one watches that.
Bite your fucking tongue. That's a great fucking show.
Watch this, Pat. Ask me how I spend my mornings. Mute Bobby so he can't hear what I say. I sit in my fucking Eames chair with a cigar, a black coffee. I put on morning and I read the news and listen for my name. It's pretty much how I do it.
You quickly touch your penis when No Sajinsky comes on, and you quickly let go when Bill comes on.
I'm allowed to say that because I would argue I'm the longest running fan of morning. Bill will tell you. I was there from day one when fucking, I'll say it, when Keith the Cop, like we used to be on one day, we were on 1 day a week, 2 in the afternoon. So every week, fucking, I'd do the show and I'd hang out with Bill afterwards and he'd sit there and show me texts from fucking Keith the Cop, who only hired Bill because he thought, well, he'll bring everybody from Red Eye and I won't have to do my job. We'll get tons of subs. And nobody came over. And not only that, who did he replace? Who was Bill replacing? Gavin McGinnis. So the most conservative guy that was ever on the network with the most liberal guy and everyone's bashing Bill's show. And fucking Keith the Cop is sending Bill tweets saying, hey, you got to stop doing this. Don't ever have this guest on again. They didn't like her. And I just kept looking at Bill. You ask him. And I said, do whatever fucking show you want. He signed you for a year. When do I get fired? If you get fired, you'll have a show that you can market a year later when you're done. If you get fired for doing what he wants, because nothing he does works. And I would even say he was dumb enough to hire you and he's bitching about it. Like that's how long I've been a fan of morning. And it's the only morning show you could have on Compound. It's the only morning type show you could have.
I know I shit on it all the time. And for one moment, I won't, Bobby. You ready? I've said this when I first watched the show, and I said it to E-Rock. I said, it's the version of Regis and Kathy Lee that people like me could watch. And not that it's something I want to watch in the morning. That's just not my cup of tea. But if I had to watch a morning show like that, I would watch morning. They have great chemistry together. I joke about it. I like Bill as a host. I think she's fantastic. The guests are great because they're the ones that they steal from In Hot Water. And
it's true.
So it's perfect. Like all of a sudden they're like, we have a redheaded hot dog eating guy. It's like, oh, really?
How did you do that?
Oh, by the way, then also he friended me on Facebook. So now I'm friend with Chigger, please, or whatever his name is.
Oh, we have to get him back on soon. I keep fucking playing phone tag with the guy.
Maybe you should have me on. I'm a great guest. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Aren't you on soon? We just had you, didn't we?
Like a year ago.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to respond to the Zoom email you sent me and just respond to you and Ari and get you on. It's that easy.
No, I'm kidding. I actually just canceled coming on a Wet Spot on Monday. So
why?
Because I have to work too much. I can't just come to the city. You could
Skype our show at 2 in the afternoon and be an idiot. We only need you half an hour, whatever.
I don't live in the city. Life, okay, some people work during the day. 2 in the afternoon is the worst fucking time when you're like trying to be anywhere.
I can't even talk to you when you don't make sense. I can't do it.
You're right. Why can't you be available for a half hour at 2 in the afternoon, 3 hours away from where you live, and you don't have a gay Yeah, I'm coming now. Here I come. Just so I can show up.
See, Bobby, this guy gets it.
Sit in the corner, have you guys yell gay sex a bunch, go, oh yeah, there's 5 minutes left. Pat's here. And then I come on and you go, we love Pat. And then you guys joke over me. You're right.
Yeah.
You can tell he's
silence again.
You could tell he's a fan.
Oh, I'm a fan of everybody. I'm a fan of anyone that lets me be on shows.
Anyone that fucking lets me play, I'm a fan of.
That's who I'm a fan of. Kumi has had me on 13 times and he doesn't even know my name.
Cumia.
He knows it now because he thought this background I have, Gino. I don't know if you saw that episode. He thought this was my real house. I was the last guest with Landau on. And so, and I was talking over Dave because it was Zoom and the connection was bad. So at one point, Anthony stops and goes, so I guess my new co-host is Pat because he won't stop talking over my other co-host. And then Dave quit, which people are like, see, fucking Pat made it happen. He made him leave, which I think is wonderful. But yeah, Anthony thought that chair behind me in this picture, which is from the movie Up, was my real chair. And he wondered how I sat in it. That's on the air.
I was wondering that. I'm like, okay, that's fake. Is that the house from Up?
I think so. I just Googled the world's ending and then this came up.
Oh, come on.
Bobby, do you have a story? Because we've covered one and people, two, I guess, with the Eric Nagel thing.
But that's a good thing, right, guys?
Yeah, definitely.
I enjoy this. Some people like Bobby's like married sweetheart, Rebecca, she'll be mad because we didn't follow structure.
Well, in that case, Rebecca's probably right. We should have been more structured this episode.
A fucking
Bobby, you're not Asian. She doesn't like you. Go ahead.
I was just making a joke. The only story I wanted to talk about was
you are Asian.
The Rappaport versus KD story. Have either of you guys seen that at all?
I'm so old. I saw a tweet of 4 screenshots and I didn't know what it was. And that's what it was. Like KD is fighting with Michael Rappaport. He's like, please, Walt, do you know what it is, Pat? Sorry to interrupt.
KD as in Kevin Durant?
Yeah. And Rappaport.
He's going to physically fight Michael Rappaport?
No.
Oh, I was like, holy shit. That'll not end well.
It's important to note that yesterday, Rappaport's court case for defamation against Barstool was tossed out of court. So then, I
don't even know anything about that. I don't pay attention to anything Michael Rappaport.
It's not important, but he lost a court case yesterday. The president of Barstool went in and just made his lawyers look like chumps. They released the video. It got a bunch of views. So then Rappaport leaks all these DMs he got from Kevin Durant going back to December 23rd when he tweeted out, Kevin Durant seemed a little emotional in the post-game interview. Either do the interview or don't be a pussy. So then Kevin Durant responded, you're a bitch. And it goes back and forth a couple of times. And then it's just like 30 insults in a row by Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant tweets at him when he puts the screenshots out and says, why'd you delete all your comments? Rappaport responds like the one where I said I'd break your fucking neck.
That's not kind of funny, Pat. Am I missing something?
I'm just trying to soak it all in, but I'm enjoying it.
I felt it. Well, now I'm going to be you. Silence, Pat.
Yeah,
Silence.
I'm stonewalling you. I'm stonewalling your fucking brilliance right now.
You motherfucker.
Kevin Durant goes, show me where that tweet is. I didn't see that message because you deleted it. It goes back and forth a couple of times, and the whole sports world's been a buzz about this. Who's the piece of shit? Is it Kevin Durant for getting involved with a reporter? Like, you play basketball, just shut the fuck up. Gino and Pat, you guys don't respond to every negative comment you see on Twitter. Right?
I used to.
Yeah, you used to.
I'm getting better at it. I gotta say, I love the Red Bar show now. I love they talk about me all the time. One fan sent me a certain girl I used to put my ticket and sent me a picture of an arrest report. I'm like, wow, I got off that ride just in time. Thanks for the heads up. He thinks I'm gonna be like, why the fuck would you send me this? I'm like, Jesus Christ, thank God you guys are paying attention because my dick doesn't check the internet.
I had to mute all of Australia and now everything's fine. Those people
insane.
Are real mean, except for Damian Rogers. You're a wonderful person. Everyone else, fuck off.
People are making fun of me on a day that hasn't even happened yet. People are making fun of me tomorrow in Australia. I'm still in yesterday.
Yeah, I'm like, well, you're from the future and you're still stupid and red? How the fuck's that happen?
I'm getting shit on before I even get there.
You have a boomerang for a weapon. Shut the fuck up.
Now, you're wasting it on us. We know you're funny, Pat. Don't waste it on me and Bobby.
Your hero died from a stingray. Fuck yourself.
Oh, my God.
Bobby, first of all, before I say it was a piece of shit, while you're doing the thing again with the microphone and we can't see it and it looks like a cock, thank you, Rebecca, for making that. You see the dildo picture she did make for us with you
did,
holding a
yeah.
dildo. Thank you, Rebecca. I asked for it and you did it. You're a wonderful woman. The piece of shit is Kevin Durant. And the reason why is, Bobby, are you a sports fan?
Decently, yeah.
Okay, Geno will know this. When the Celtics won their first championship with Kevin Durant, what was the thing Kevin Durant yelled like a crying teenage bitch right afterwards? Anything is possible. And he put his arms out. It was the biggest fucking picture and advertisement ever, crying and screaming. Anything is possible. Yeah, if you're a 6'10" gifted black man, it's pretty anything is possible.
Yeah, you're right.
Can I just point out one important thing?
The NBA championship if we were with the fucking Celtics. And he had Paul Pierce, who was so fucking good and underrated. But anyway.
You're confusing Durant and Garnett.
Oh, fuck.
You're the
See, that's racist. See that? Say it, Pat. Can I say it? They all look alike, Bobby. They all look alike.
They don't all look alike, but those two fucking Shaka Zulus do. They fucking do.
See, you can't say those Shaka Zulus. See, I'm the bad guy. This nigger's the bad
First of all,
guy. You just...
I have never said you're a bad guy.
I am. Well, I am, Pat. I'm going to let you know the secret.
You are
I am a piece of shit on the Piece of Shit podcast.
Yeah. And by the way, you are Alec Baldwin. You've been on more than anyone. So yeah.
You know when people say, did you see that Piece of Shit podcast? Yeah, he does it with Berg. No, I'm talking about Pat Oates. Oh, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. By the way, every time Anthony Cumia calls someone a piece of shit, a POS, I put underneath in the comments my logo from my show. Sometimes he fucking retweets it, and sometimes he's like, all right, cut the shit. But anyway, yeah. So the piece of shit in this story is Kevin Garnett. No, you know what? Now it's really Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant, I thought it was Garnett. Kevin Durant couldn't win a fight with fucking Michael Rappaport. Kevin Durant is a fucking emo black man. There's like two of those. Little Nas X from our last story, and then this guy here. He's a bitch. Don't fight with. Just go punch Michael Rapp. If Michael Rappaport yelled at me right now, I would drive to wherever he is. I'd go punch Bill Burr. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Michael Rappaport. My bad. And then I would go punch Michael Rappaport. Fuck that. Why are you fighting with a fucking troll? Like we just made it. You're right. You don't fight with a fucking troll. He's a troll. That's what he does. You don't say anything. You just
he is.
Australia.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And fucking what's his name is definitely not the piece of shit. Well, you're the piece of shit in this story, Pat Oates, for calling Kevin Garnett Kevin Durant. But I mean,
shit is Michael Clark Duncan. That's what the piece of shit is.
He's dead.
Thank God.
The piece of shit is actually Durant because one, you don't deal with trolls, and two, aren't you the guy that fucking had a burner phone a couple years ago to badmouth other people? That was Kevin Durant, wasn't it?
No, that was no kidding. You're confusing him with D Brown.
The brown guy. It's the brown guy in this story.
oh, you and me and three racist people laugh so hard at that right now.
Isn't it funny how the fucking the Iraqis have stolen brown? Now black people are black. They're not brown. Brown people are like, the Syrians and stuff. The ones that that get killed at the hands of black women that are just joyriding. What a fucking joke.
First of all, black people aren't black. That's racist in itself, saying the color's black. You're not black. White people aren't white. We're like peachy or like kind of like off pinkish. We're not. There's no white or black people unless you're an albino or fucking Wesley Snipes' asshole. Like that's the only thing that's black.
We're peachy keen kind of people is what we are.
We are. We're catch 22 skidoo. The piece of shit in this story is Michael Clark Duncan for being in that movie 8 Mile. See what I did there?
He was in the Green Mile.
Is that where my joke went?
I loved it. Look, I'm already a fan. I don't need to sell. I don't need to sell anything here.
Yeah, but believe me, I also know why when I go on a compound, people are like, take this guy off. He takes 100 swings, 4 hit. I get it. but I take 90. I take all the swings. But the piece of shit in this story, for real, Michael Rappaport, stop being a troll. You have it. You could do something. You could do more than that. And I can't even say it's the basketball player that I can't remember his name for taking the trolling, because I say that, but I've gotten my ass kicked on there and I've fought back and it never looked good. But you want to argue and you forget that other nerd, like the fucking guy who keeps fucking trying to hack everyone's internet accounts, the Joe Exotic asshole, the guy who keeps going on there and doing all that, and he's fucking with everybody in the world that's in the little compound or Brendan circles because he thinks it's fun. If you try to yell at him, 3 or 4 of his buddies all just team up and they all fucking are really good at the internet and they fuck with you. It's like, what? Why are you mad at me? Because I existed on a show you watch? I don't know you. And you stole the name of a guy who needs the name. The Tiger Faggot? Don't steal his name. He needs it. He's Joe Exotic. So yeah, it's the piece of shit is me. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. Oh, there you go. Okay.
You know who's the piece of shit?
I'm telling you, Durant's the piece of shit.
Kevin Garnett?
Not Garnett. Durant has no.
Robert Parrish is the piece of shit in this story.
I'm so glad you brought
Casey
up
Jones
Garnett.
is a piece of shit. I'll go fucking back with you with the Celtics. Casey Jones is a piece of shit in this. Red Auerbach. No, fucking
Gary Seasting is the piece of shit in this story.
You're making all the money. Just walk away from it. You know, you're better than it. And it's easy for me to say, but I'm the one that fucking shits on, that sat there and fucking put up with that fucking shitty Red Bar podcast and let it bother me. Now it's like, once you let go and let God, you just, it's like, I get it. They're obsessed with me. I mean, you just enjoy the attention. That's what I'm learning to do. But Durant didn't need to open his fucking mouth. He's like, whatever.
Listen, sometimes trolling helps. When Who Are These Podcasts? That podcast took my podcast a year and a half ago and shit all over me. I loved it. I loved it. I watched, I listened to it. I commented positively, and then he's like, wait a minute, no one does that. I go, you made good points. I was just rambling to myself. I didn't have structure. I didn't do right things. And I appreciate it. You guys, your show is about shitting on people. Anything, I got more listeners and I got more fans from them shitting on me. Now I'm a regular co-host on the fucking show and people love me on it. And I'm one of the biggest sound bites they have on there. So if you take it positively, you can do that. So maybe Michael Rappaport's trying to be the Carl to Kevin. What's his name? Kevin Seasting, whatever the fuck his name. I don't know who the fuck is the guy. Kevin Bass. Kevin Bass is that's a Houston Astro baseball player. Was it Durant or Garant? I forget anymore. It's Durant. Maybe he was trying to inspire Durant to do better and not be emotional.
Maybe.
But I don't know why he cares if he's emotional or not emotional. Bobby, are we right at all? Who's the piece of shit in your story?
I'm glad you brought up Garnett. I think he's a piece of shit. He set illegal screens all the time, started fights. But I think in this particular story, it's anybody who gives a shit about it. Like the people who are all ablaze, like, oh, did you see Durant get got? Or did you see Rappaport get Durant? Or the people who are like, did you see Durant get like, you like Kevin Durant because he plays basketball. I'm not sure why you like Rappaport. But
what was he in? Wasn't he like a white cop in Black Places a long time ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his thing. Like there'd be a black guy and he'd go, yo, I'm kind of black too. Like, no.
Like if Barry Ribs was successful, he'd be Rappaport.
Yeah, well, if John Moses wasn't funny. That's what it is. If the comedian John Moses wasn't funny, he'd be Michael Rappaport.
It's true. It's exactly fucking true.
I love John Moses.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
But I hate Michael Rappaport.
It's just, that's his brand. You're right. He got big. He really blew up when he was trolling Stern, right? He would troll all those guys. He got in that fucking football league. He'd call up, he'd talk shit. Like one time he was talking shit. He basically said he was going to rape someone in the ass when he beat him. It's like, that's gay. You're just being gay.
I mean, it's going to inspire half of them, but the other.
It's true. That's true. That fucking show. Do you even care? That show fucking, it's just dead to me. I talk about it a lot. It's just so fucking, I'm over it.
Which show?
Stern. I'm over it. I used to fucking love it. I used to sit there and say, you know, even when people were bashing him up until a couple years ago, I'm like, the guy should be able to go on the air and clip his nails for 5 hours and you should say thank you. But now he's just too much a shill for the fucking left. And that's coming back to haunt everyone. We talked about it in Hot Water this week when fucking Jimmy Fallon had some woman last week just dancing TikTok dances and people were like, oh, you don't give the black people that created him credit? No, shut up. It's a harmless bit. And this is what I love about shows like ours, Pat. Like, you know, and of course, the East Side Dave show with Bobby who got up to take a shit and vanish. It's like, if you spent the past 4 years being on the air like Trevor Noah and Jimmy Kimmel, and even more so, well, Jimmy Kimmel and fucking, who's the other guy? Colbert. Yeah. Well, Fallon, but Colbert, the people that, this is bizarre, the people that spent the past 4 years just getting by bashing Trump. Well, here's one thing. Whether you believe that fucking Biden won the election with 80 million votes or Biden stole the election with 50 million votes, and I have no problem with it because in either case, this is America. And if he stole it, he's my president. If he won it, he's my president. But no matter which side of that you're on, 74 million people, every time you get behind that desk, think you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Every joke you say, 74 million people are going to be like, you're a fucking faggot. And not only that, now the other fucking, now the other contingency that fucking, wanted Biden and is so woke collapse all over themselves and say shit like, oh my God, how could you fucking, not fucking recognize transgenders? And how could you not fucking, give...
I recognize him. I go, that is a dude. That's a fucking dude right there.
That's fucking great.
I recognize them all the time.
Oh, how can you not recognize them? It's a chick with a cock hanging out. That's I recognize it.
It's a lady named Earl.
I
got it.
We've been quoting it all week, but Florentine has the best joke about it now. He's like they're making it legal for kids to get sex change. He's like, yeah, because when you're 14, that's when you make the best decisions. He's like, when I was 14, all my guy friends were getting laid and I wasn't. I would have got a sex change so they'd fuck me. Yeah, stick it in my big fake pussy. And it's Florentine. I'm not even saying it right, and it's hilarious.
You can tell that in his voice, big fake pussy.
Just the way he says it, he's brilliant.
But you just convinced me to change my POS thing. Bobby's right. It's anyone who gives a shit. Because you just said something that fucking made me sad, Gino. 74 million people are watching those late night talk shows. Why are they watching it? How do you watch it?
They're not. But 74
No, they
million
are
people.
Though, because they're talking about it every day. I know people that say, I know people still say, did you see Kimmel last night? Did you see? How are you seeing that? With all like you said, with all the shit there is to watch.
Yeah.
I've been all weekend. I watched anime with my kids because I'd rather watch that than any of the shit that's on TV. It's insane that someone.
And I'll tell you something else, Pat.
Getting their opinion from these white fucks.
And the thing is, when we were kids growing up, they used to have appointment TV, so you'd watch it or you'd miss it. But now we use the phrase like, I'm so behind on my shows. That was never a phrase. Like 20 years ago, I'm all behind on my show. There's so much shit I have to catch up with. I don't have time.
When I was a kid, when you were growing up, it was Thursday, 8 o'clock, and it was time to watch Dr. Rapist.
Yeah.
You just watched him. Come down to my basement gynecology room.
I watched Cheers first, and I came in right around the second to last season of MASH. That's when I came in.
Right.
But there was shit we used to watch. Like when I was young, I barely remember, but we used to watch All in the Family at Aunt Olga's. My brother told me that. I'm like, I guess I remember that, but I don't really.
I watched it in repeat, but I remember watching it as a kid. I would go to my grandparents' house, and it would be on, and no one was sitting there going, "Oh, kids can't see this," because no one thought anything was wrong. It was a comedy. It was a fucking comedy with a man saying mean things and everyone correcting him, going, no, you can't be mean. Because that was the formula for comedy. Since W.C. Fields, he'd go, hey, look at this stupid kid. And someone goes, that kid's not stupid. You're like, yeah, right, he's retarded. Hey, and that was it. That was the bit. We're done. I mean, it wasn't a good impression, but fuck you.
I thought we watch shows, we watch Seinfeld now. And a lot of times we'll be like, you can't say that. There's a scene. Yeah, obviously, it's a legendary episode.
Did you guys steal that from Luis Gomez? Louis J.
No. Remember the J. The classic episode with Terry Hatcher, the Real and They're Spectacular. At the beginning, he breaks up with her because she thinks she has fake tits when Elaine says it. And she's in the sauna and she says, she's like, he's so neat. A place for everything and everything. And then she says, he would have made a great Nazi. If you tried, you wouldn't even have the balls to say that in a writer's meeting. You'd be like, oh, obviously that's not good. Like that, and it's a great line. He would have made a great Nazi.
It's a great line, but he's Jewish.
Yeah, but you can't even say that shit now. It's like there's stuff. It's classic comedy.
Proving that women are stupid. He's Jewish. He can't be a Nazi.
This guy gets it. Guy gets it.
She's no Dean Cain. Wasn't she on a show with him, Super Bitch?
Yeah. It's funny you say that. We had a caller today pretending to be Dean Cain saying he was Superman.
Do you know what Dean Cain's favorite thing to put on food is? Silk City hot sauce, ladies and gentlemen. Dean Cain loves Silk City hot sauce. What is your favorite flavor, Geno? You ever had the old Silk City hot sauce?
Well, if I had to guess, I would say it's not the Killer Hot. It's not the fucking Ghost Whisperer. Why, look at this handsome son of a bitch. It's the Badass Jew.
Yeah.
In fact, I have to order some more Silk City hot sauce now, and I was going to use the Badass Jew code, Badass for my buddy Aaron Bird, but if you have a code, maybe I'll use yours, buddy.
Bobby, can you tell him what our code is?
Our code is pretty simple, Geno. Badass is a lot to write.
Is
What if you
yours
only had to
POS?
remember
POS.
3 simple letters? POS.
Done.
Save the last S for savings.
I've
I've done that joke 20 times and only Geno's gotten it.
because I like it. I like it.
By the way, Geno, have you ever gotten laid on your birthday?
Yes.
And you're excited because you got the birthday box. Guess who else has a birthday box? Silk City hot sauce. There's an 8-pack birthday box. It's got the official Silk City sampler, a box of each: Chipotle, Hot Experiment, Badass Jew, Mango Madness, Slurp, Aztec Attack, Killer Hot, and then a fucking 8th one that I can't read on my page. Oh, Ghost Whisperer. There it is. It's not the box you want. It's the box you deserve. You can eat a girl out, but it's not going to taste as good as Mango Madness, and Chad Zumach won't be in there, or Hot Experiment or things like that. It's the perfect gift to give someone on their birthday. It's $64. You use the promo code, and I'm not good at math, but it's less than $64.
I think it's $12 off.
Sure. You get stickers. You can give them to your kids while you fuck your wife. They're distracted. You fuck your wife. They stare at stickers. It's a great gift for everybody. Bobby, what's your favorite flavor?
It's also the Badass Jew.
Well played. Stay on brand. Until you get one, it's Badass Jew, Pat.
No, it's not. I don't like that. I love Aaron Berg. I'm not someone that can eat hot and spicy things. My favorite is Aztec Attack. It's the green one. It's got fucking perfect little peppers. I put it in eggs and a bacon, egg, and cheese. It's amazing. And the Zumach one, Mango Madness, I use it on baked chicken. It's incredible. But I did use the Jonestown one in some ziti. That one is my favorite. I've gone through the whole fucking bottle already. Fuck, I put it on everything.
Look how much I have left. Yeah, and this is, you use it fast. Is this did you realize they were named after comics? Like Chad has one.
I thought you said comics.
Walked right into that. That's pretty good.
Bobby Bickerstaff, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you said comics. You're right. You're right. Does
The
Dustin
wonderful
Chapin
people in
have
Silk
one? I
City.
thought you said comics. What?
At the wonderful people in Silk City, we have made several suggestions for this show. They could make a fucking salsa and call it POSA. They could do that, like a Spanish name, and have that sauce for us. Frank last week was describing how to put duck sauce on a woman's nipples. We said they should have Frank's homemade duck sauce. And Bobby's hot takes, that's what he does on the show. They could do that with
He
any
puts
hot
duck sauce on women's nipples? You wonder why he's a diabetic. What the fuck?
Actually, I did that in high school, and he told me I
Okay.
applied it wrong. And so he was showing us with his finger how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was gross. But thank you, Smokey, for making that visual in my head for the rest of my fucking life on that episode.
No problem, buddy.
But no, it's wonderful, wonderful stuff. If you like hot sauce, if you like making your food better, if you like syrups, if you like people that support comedy like this, so you can say what the fuck you want, then you gotta support Silk City hot sauce. Even if you don't use the fucking promo code, I love you too because then I get money.
You really
Buy
do
it.
need this. You really need to support it.
It's good fucking shit.
And
you
he's
should buy
so
it.
good. He's so good to comics. He's such a fan of comedy.
He's wonderful. He's a wonderful guy. I mean, literally, it was funny. I reached out. I told us on the air. I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, we're for the show. I'm going to sponsor." He goes, "Funny, I'm listening to your podcast right now. I'm a fan of you." And yeah, we're in, and it was it. Boom, we're in. A week later, I had a bunch of sauce at my house. And he's fucking great.
He reached out to me because what's his name? I always forget his name.
Bragging.
But he reached out to me. No, not about a sauce. But he saw, because I was tweeting about you guys and the sauce, and he's like, we have the same birthday, December 29th, and he's like, let's do, he literally said, let's do a birthday code, Geno 29, and they'll get a discount on the 8-pack you just said, and I wrote to him like, you can do it. But let me pay you the compliment. No one's going to order it because I fucking plugged the fuck out of Silk City the week leading. I'm like, this is what you do for Christmas. I'm like, use any of these codes. I'm like, I didn't know POS yet. I'm sorry, but I'm like,
oh, we didn't have it then. This is brand new. We
so I was like, use Kevin's code. I won't even say it because we're POS. I'm like,
no,
use
say
David's code. Use.
I joke around. Anyone that Silk City supports, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
Do
I said,
if you're
use
buying this on
CMP for
YouTube,
Chrissy Mayer podcast. Just joking for Kevin Dombrowski. Use badass. So I'm like, no one's good. But he put it out. He's like, I think 2 people ordered. I'm like, well, keep that $4. But we have that bond forever. But it's like it's. And I'm hanging out with my family this weekend, Palm Sunday dinner, and I gave them a lot for Christmas. And my cousin Big Eugene, I'm little Eugene, he's like, that's really good fucking hot sauce. I'm like, you want me to order you more? And he's like, no, because we have hot sauces are a thing now. Now more like everyone has a hot sauce. But I'm telling you, my favorite is easily fucking the fucking Silk City shit. So I guess I shouldn't say shit, but it's good shit, man.
The 2 things that are a thing now: having hot sauce in your house at all times, a bunch of different flavors, and having children that have no gender. Those are the things. Those are the things you want.
I got the Hillary Clinton, Bobby. Don't worry.
Thanks.
You know what else is big? Recognizing transgenders. Do you do that?
All the time. There's your Adam's apple. There's your ball sack.
I love that joke.
There they are.
When you go, I recognize them.
I recognize them hard. I recognize them hard. Get it? Because they have cocks.
If I wanted to, I couldn't have set that up any better for you. I couldn't have. It's great.
It was the greatest softball of all time. Thank you, Jenny Finch. I appreciate it. That was fantastic.
It's like I threw a piece of gold out the car window. I don't need this.
I was a black guy's gap tooth, just taking that gold right in. It was perfect the way I caught it.
Yeah,
you brought up his name anyway, and I haven't said this yet. When I performed at Coscob comedy thing, and Kevin Dombrowski was on the show, and Berg was on the show, I was like, there's no way Geno must have a show because his 3 favorite bald men in the world are on one fucking show. How is he not here?
Yeah.
And Natalie Cuomo was on that show. But here's the thing. That during that show, there was a sound problem. The sound went out. The mic kept cutting out.
Right. They used wireless, yeah.
Right when Kevin was about to go up. I've never seen someone so fucking professional as fucking Kevin Dombrowski going into this room with drunks. He silenced that because he knew he couldn't attack them because Aaron was next. So normally you and I would have gone hard, louder to get them in and not cared about the wake that the next guy had to go into. He knew that Aaron had to do his thing. He settled them. He sat down with one person. He got them all listening like they were in a fireside fucking chat. And by the end, he's getting applause breaks for his fucking stories, but without a microphone at all. And it was fucking killer to watch. I watched it. I'm like, I've always known to do is funny, but fucking professional and selfless because he cared about the whole rest of the show. And Aaron went up without the mic and just destroyed. Aaron was going to destroy anyway. I know some people say he's not funny, but he's funny. But he's fucking hilarious. And it was just awesome that Kevin did that. And I was like, why can't he teach Geno to do that?
I'm right here. I can hear you. Hear you.
Geno's a true professional and would have had his goddamn PA system in his car with a wired mic, and it wouldn't have been a fucking problem, Pat.
Yeah, that is what I made fun of. Not any of you guys. I looked right at our buddy that books it, fucking Matt Mean. I'm like, whenever someone's like, hey, you're gonna be happy, I got a wireless mic. You know nothing about comedy. Comedians are always like, don't give me a wireless mic. I'm not wandering around fucking on a cruise ship. Give me a fucking hardwired microphone. They had one for my show. They knew. They learned.
Mead is a wonderful gentleman who had 17 heart attacks and anxiety attacks while that was happening.
He is a wonderful dude.
He is. Frank's a wonderful guy. They're all tremendous putting that stuff on. Geno, thank you so much for fucking once again hijacking our show and not allowing us to do whatever.
It's what this nigger does.
Yes, you do.
It's what this Kevin Garnett does. What?
A lot of people say N-word, please. I say Geno, N-word, thank you. That's what I say.
Thank you, buddy.
Where? Tell them all about your shows, where they can see all the stuff.
In hot water 4 days a week on Compound Media. You need to subscribe. You need to pay for shit like that. Patreon is our Gum Friday show. Bobby pops up a lot. And just go to GenoBisconte.com. You can see me. I'm on. If you're in New York, if you're in the area, April 9th, Comedians of the Compound at Stand Up New York. Fucking, we're going to sit there and tell jokes, laugh at Cuomo for being a fucking dick. Not Natalie Cuomo. She's hilarious. And
you know what? She's on the show. She was on that show too.
Yeah.
God, she's funny.
Yeah,
really well written shit.
Yeah,
I felt bad because she went on stage and she said the crowd wasn't really into it. She stops and goes, "I'm not gonna lie, I broke up with a guy, my boyfriend, yesterday." It's just like she had to say it out loud. It was like a realist fucking thing. And then they started to pay attention. And she's like, "You don't even care that I broke up with someone." It was fucking tremendous. It was great.
Yeah.
Bobby,
check out the East Side Dave show with Roy Harder every Tuesday at 7:30 on Compound.
Well done.
Also go to that stand-up show, April 9th. Comedians of the
Compound. Are you coming by, Bobby?
I'll be by it. I don't think I'm getting time, but I'll be hanging out. But it's important.
Put him on.
Danny,
funny.
Danny,
I always put Bobby on, please. You don't got to tell me.
you guys are
Some
blowing up my
people aren't
spot
even on
right
the
now.
Compound Network and they're on that show.
You guys are blowing up my spot right now. Anyway,
Oh, sorry,
Danny's a
buddy,
good
what's up?
guy. It's important to support him. He supported comedians throughout this whole thing. He got vaccines for comedians who wanted them. He got health care. He's a really good guy. This is the one to come out to.
Oh, the guy who started the Idaho Comedy Festival?
Yes.
Is that really going to happen? Does anyone know? Is that really going to happen? I hope it does.
Isn't that where Simon, or what's his name, Seth
Exactly, that's exactly the whole point of it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Just go to our Patreon, Pat Oates Patreon, go over to the YouTube, support us there. We appreciate everything you do. I'm writing a new book that I'm doing it 30 minutes at a time on my Medium thing. You can find it on there. It's a dark comedy. Just check that out if you want to support it. Geno, thank you so much. Really always
Pleasure's all
appreciate when
mine,
you're on,
buddy.
my friend. Always great to see you. Keep that N-word going. Someone has to, because a lot of people are giving up on it. Thank God that you're keeping hope alive. So, Bobby.
Remember, guys, don't be a piece of shit.